has to do with politics again, specifically RFK Jr.'s VP prospect.
Based. He is the most based Kennedy out there.
The most based rejected Kennedy. Okay, yeah. So the first story has to do with his vice president prospect, who is the New York Jets quarterback, Aaron Rodgers.
I'm still not used to that. I'm still not used to New York Jets quarterback. He's been on the Green Bay Packers for like 15 years. So every time I hear New York Jets quarterback, it's just like Brett Favre trauma all over again. Because I'm a Green Bay Packers fan. I have been my entire life. But seeing him go, or at least leave, because Brett Favre was traded to the Jets so Aaron Rodgers can start. Aaron Rodgers decided to leave so he can join the Jets and goes, tear his ACL for the rest of the season and get a fat stack for doing nothing,
Yeah, and now he's apparently going to be chosen as vice president.
Hey, president.
Hopefully not.
We need the ticket Kennedy Rodgers.
Kennedy Rodgers, hey.
We had Aaron Burr. Now we have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Burr was the vice president. Aaron Rodgers is the vice president. I like that.
Okay, so the first has to do with a statement he made on Twitter/X.
What was that? What did he say?
So the statement
was... More bad takes.
And it just kind of seemed random, too. It's another random take on this. So Aaron Rodgers goes out, and this is a private conversation that people got access to, where he stated the 2012 Sandy Hook shooting wasn't real. He stated it wasn't real, and that these were all actors. And that kind of reminds you of someone else who said the same thing.
Some particular portly gentleman who is not allowed to exist on YouTube or most social media.
Or most places anywhere.
He is the man who shall not be named. He's like Voldemort. But
he's like, yeah, the man.
Except we can actually say Voldemort. We can't say this man's name.
We can't say this guy.
But he is a portly gentleman, and he has stuff to do with, I'll call it knowledge battles. We'll call his show Knowledge Battles.
We can say Knowledge Battles. That's fair. He talked to a CNN reporter. CNN reporter, Pamela Brown. Behind the scenes where they met, and he started bashing on CNN for apparently not covering how they were supposed to. I mean, he goes out to bring up the tragic killing of 20 children and 6 teachers, Sandy Hook Elementary, claiming it was a government inside job. He said it was an inside job, that this never happened, it wasn't real. The media wasn't covering it as they were supposed to, and they were just kind of like just vaguely going through it, so that's kind of crazy. Just kind of stating that, especially in the position that you're in, running as vice president. And honestly, it leaves you wondering how RFK himself thinks about this, as he chose him as to be one of his prospects.
I mean, I feel like, given who RFK Jr. is, I feel like this is kind of the reason why he chose him, because Aaron Rodgers will go against the grain and attack the media and the false narratives they spread,
Oh, man. And that's crazy. So, so he started sharing theories, just as our previously unnamed person also did, and got sued for. So he started, and he started
$400 million.
I think it was more than that.
Well, it was $800 million, right?
It was close to like $1 billion.
Yeah,
$1 billion. Because he started basically saying the same things he was saying, calling family crisis actors, that these children never existed. And this is crazy because he talks about FBI agents being in the wilderness around the school and just being sketchy as heck, which is crazy. And when this came out, he didn't deny any of it. He just posted his own statement that said, as I am on the record saying in the past, what happened in Sandy Hook was an absolute tragedy. I am not and have never been of the opinion that the events did not take place. Again, I hope that we learn from this and other tragedies to identify the signs that will allow us to prevent unnecessary loss. My thoughts and prayers continue to remain with the families affected along with the entire Sandy Hook school. Well, I'm just wondering how that's going to go for him. running up as a vice president. It's just insane to go out there and start telling
his first controversy.
Yeah, and start telling journalists, people who did he think they were going to keep it confidential? These are journalists. They're going to throw these stories out there because this is a person on a platform.
And you realize that they have VP debates.
Yeah, so I wonder if that's going to come up in his VP debate. Hey, what do you think about your statement that you?
He's going to have to answer for it. And listen, my take on it is this is why they say never meet your heroes.
Never meet
your heroes.
Oh,
because this is who they turn out to be. You have this wonderful fantasy of who they are and who they exist to be.
Right. It's because they have to keep an image.
Yeah, yeah. And it makes me sad to see this, see him unravel like this. I don't know if it was the Packers' bad O-line in the last year he was with the team that gave him so much CTE, but this is clearly CTE at work, if you ask me.
Yeah. He's mad about something.
Yeah,
something's going on there.
Yeah, or maybe it was Olivia Munn dumping him. That's what it was. That just drove him over the edge. He started growing. He had that conspiracy theorist hair. He grew it out. He was subpar in the last few years for the Packers. So, it's sad to see him like this. He was a favorite quarterback of mine, but now I'm feeling the love with Jordan Love.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
That's my guy, Jordan Love. Now so
he's been replaced.
Yeah. I mean, after I had to replace Brett Favre for stealing money from poor people, now I gotta replace Aaron Rodgers for saying dead children never existed. So.
Yeah, and that's just kind of terrible because a lot of these families are being harassed, for these claims. They're just being harassed and nonstop. You got his fans going after the families, asking them why are they still with the play.
He's next. Aaron Rodgers is next to
Aaron
be
Rodgers.
sued.
He is next. He's like on the same trail as someone else.